Welcome back to Comics with Drew. I'm Drew, and today is the 4th of July. And you know what that means? That means it's time for a review of Captain America. Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty. And I'm going to go on a bit of a monologue here. I mean, all my reviews are monologues, clearly. But the fact of the matter is that Captain America is probably on the down low my favorite comic book character. And the reason why is because I love America. You know, I'm very proud to be an American. I know that's a very difficult concept for many people to understand, but I'm very patriotic. My grandfather was a World War II veteran in the Navy. He was out there in the Pacific, got blown off a ship. You know, I mean, every day when I was a kid that we went over to his house, he had a model of the destroyer Escort that he served on. He had the model up on his shelf, and he had like the little cotton balls that he had spray painted orange to show that they were firing. He had models of Japanese Zeros, and he had he also had all the classic cars that he bought. Well, they weren't classic when he bought them, but by the time I was around, they were classic cars. So I loved my grandfather, and you know, he was a hero to me. And you know, I was raised in a social conservative house, and you know, I've had a lot of respect for the military, and I also have a degree in political science, so I know all about America and what makes America work. I know why America works the way it works, and so consequently, the 4th of July is my second favorite holiday. And as it relates to comic books, Captain America holds a place in my heart that is near and dear. And I think that the treatment of Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is nothing short of miraculous. And the reason I say that is because a lot of comics these days, a lot of writers in comics these days, they don't understand Captain America, and they don't understand America in general. And it's not necessarily their fault. I mean, the way that people are educated or not educated can really shape people's perceptions of what the country is supposed to be and the promise of what the country is, you know. And this is not to say that the United States of America is the most perfect country in the world that's never done anything wrong. That's far from the truth. But when I talk about why America is great and why America is an amazing place, what I'm talking about is what the promise of America is. So a lot of people want to say that, oh, well, the country has this problem and the country had that problem, and therefore this is unforgivable, etc. But the reality is that you have to start someplace. You know, the country started in a time that is completely radically different from our time. And so as a result, things were done that were imperfect, you know, and we're constantly as a country trying to improve and try to realize that vision. And I don't necessarily think that it's ever going to be perfected, but we are going to try our best to do it anyway. And it's that optimism that I find is so important, especially when dealing with a comic character like Captain America. And the reason I say all of this stuff is because of the fact that I have not been able to read a Captain America book for a very long time. And the reason why is because I refuse to read books written by people who do not understand the character. The character means too much to me to sit there and read a book written by some dude who thinks that America is not exceptional. And what I mean really is this. I don't think Captain America should be written by political partisans. I'm not going to read a Captain America book by Ta-Nehisi Coates. I'm not going to read a Captain America book by Ben Shapiro. You understand that? Left, right. I'm not going to read a Captain America book by someone who is only going to give me a perspective that I don't believe represents the best ideals of the country in general, okay? And that is a nonpartisan book. Captain America should be a nonpartisan character that is a celebration of all the wonderful things about the country. It's not that the country's perfect, and it's not that Captain America can't be used to confront those types of things, but when you're writing a Captain America book, it's a comic book. A comic book is not an appropriate place, I think, to talk about things that very, very intelligent and very wise people struggle to talk about. Unless Abraham Lincoln or George Washington is writing this book, I'm not really interested in a person of political stature one way or another, or a talking head or anything like that writing a book. So that being said, Disney and Marvel have shown me over the past 5-6 years that they are incapable of really understanding, I think, the country and I think what makes the country work properly. And I do not want to see that writ large in a comic book. Okay, so I haven't bought it. Now, the reason I have this book today is because a good friend of mine who's into comics, who produces his own comics, Michael Oden, loves this comic book. He says that this is a return to what makes Captain America amazing. And for those who love Captain America, this is the kind of thing that you're looking for. And I think that it's kind of a step in that direction. So to talk about the fact that the comic book is, I can't really tell you really where it's going, but what I do like about it is the fact that it actually, I think, shows Steve Rogers in the kind of a light that actually is hopeful and is optimistic. One of the things that I love about Captain America so much, and Steve Rogers in particular, is that he does what is right. Okay, he knows what's right and he does what's right, and he doesn't look at it from a perspective of how can I win something for my side. Now, I've got my my radar up for people taking pot shots at other people, taking pot shots at political parties, taking pot shots at political figures. I don't want to see that, okay? I don't want to see a Republican Captain America. I don't want to see a Democrat Captain America. I just want to see an American Captain America. To kind of give you a quick rundown of what goes on in the book, because this is kind of a review of the book, but it's more of a kind of a statement about what I feel about Captain America and the state of Captain America as a comic book in general. But Captain America, Steve Rogers, I'll just call him Steve Rogers, in this book, he basically gets he gets his old apartment back that he had way back in the 30s, right, where he grew up. And he was born in 1918 on July 4th, 1918. And the house that he lived in when he was born is an apartment, and he actually rents that apartment even though it's in a quote-unquote bad part of town and it's kind of dilapidated, but he wants to be home, and that's what matters to him. And he wants to try to understand the world that he lives in today in 2022. So to that extent, he hangs out with his old war buddies, and he also tries to make a point of trying to show people that they're all part of the country, that they're all America. And to that effect, he goes for jogs around Manhattan, and he carries a shield around, and he wants the shield to be symbolic, and he wants it to be a source of unity. After you have the first half of the book is dealing with Steve trying to get reacclimated to civilian life, he starts finding out that this group of radio guys that he hangs out with are hearing some kind of weird code, and then they ultimately determine that there might be some kind of an attack on a 4th of July parade, and they go out and they find that there's a dude who is impersonating the Destroyer, who's like the son of the Union Jack, or maybe he is the Union Jack, I don't really care. But ultimately, they unmask the guy. Clearly, he's an imposter, and there's a big explosion, and they save the parade and all, but now they're left with the mystery of who is this guy working for. So the book in and of itself is not really all that fantastic as far as a plot or story is concerned. Where it excels is in the fact that it does not do anything that is explicitly antagonistic to anybody of any political stripe. And I think that that's a very fine line that they need to walk on with this book. If they want Captain America to be a successful book, they need to stay away from topical stuff. The book is by Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing. I don't know anything about these writers. I've not read any of their other work before. I'm walking into this completely unaware of anything else that these guys have done. So I don't know if there's anything that I should, be concerned about as far as their behavior on social media or not, right? So these are things that are good in the fact that we don't have a writer with a reputation. Like Coates is an example of a writer that has an outside reputation that I don't think really is appropriate for Captain America, right? I don't want, like I said, people with a political axe to grind writing a comic book. I'm not gonna purchase that, okay? I'm just not going to do it. So that all being said, let's talk about the art. So the first thing I want to talk about is the art here in this book. Unlike Spider-Man, the art is amazing. This page here is a full page spread, and there's a couple 2-page spreads in this book. And, you know, when you got Captain America like this, I mean, this is the kind of thing that you could, you know, get a poster made out of, right? This is the way Captain America should be portrayed. He looks fantastic. It's an epic page, you know, and the art shows you that it looks like Marvel cares about this book, right? It looks like Marvel cares about Captain America. They care more about Captain America, clearly, than they do Spider-Man right now. So another page that I wanted to look into was this page here. Is another 2-page spread. And this is the scene where Steve is running around Manhattan and he's trying to be a beacon of liberty and hope. And you've got all these great scenes of Americana. And, you know, it's a fantastic page. You know, it just gives you good vibes. You know, and he's running around the Brooklyn Bridge. He's running around the United Nations. He's running around the train track. And you've got these kids by an ice cream stand and they're playing baseball. But, you know, it's good times. And I love this art. This is fantastic art. Another page that I really dig is this one here where he's suiting up. I love pages where characters are suiting up. So Steve here is in his closet and he pulls back all the different clothes and the jackets and the shirts and gets his suit out. He's putting the gloves on. He's buckling the belt. He's putting the cowl on with the A, and then you've got the shield. And, you know, there's nothing quite like a fantastic sequence of a character suiting up, because you know things are about to go down. And even though things don't really go down exactly immediately, we cut to another 2-page spread. And we've got Captain America overlooking a 4th of July parade. And what more could you want, right? I mean, it's a beautiful shot. It's Times Square. You've got Bucky as the Winter Soldier, and you've got blimps, and you've got apparently the Monopoly guy as a balloon dressed as Uncle Sam. And, you know, it's a really good, wonderful page. And I think that this kind of art, I mean, we've got 3 2-page spreads in the book. And I think that this is the kind of stuff that you want. I mean, Captain America is an epic character. And for epic characters, you need to have epic art. So that's it for all the art really on the book. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say with this video is that I love Captain America. And I would love for there to be a Captain America book that I can be proud of as an American. And what I mean by that is a book that I think lives up to the ideals of what America is. When Joe Simon and Jack Kirby created Captain America, they knew, and Jack Kirby has interviews where he talks about this, they knew that the country needed something to rally behind. They knew that the country at the time, coming out of the Great Depression, needed to have a symbol of hope, right? We had definite massive issues going on in Europe. We had big problems coming on, and ultimately we wound up fighting a 2-front world war, right? With guys that had probably never left their farms before going off to war. And we're talking about 18-year-olds going up and winding up on beaches in Normandy getting mowed down by Nazis, right? The country needed something to unite around. And Captain America needs to be a character in a comic book that does that. And until Marvel can show that they can consistently do that properly with a Captain America book in the age of wokeness, you know, that's going to be, I think, a tall order for the people that are working at Marvel, because, you know, most of them are pretty hardcore, far left on the political spectrum. And again, there's nothing wrong with being politically far left on the spectrum. That's fine with me, okay? The problem is when you inject it into a book and you turn Captain America into a sock puppet, right? And we don't want that. We want a book that I think appeals broadly to Americans everywhere. And that's the important thing. The point of this video is to state that Captain America should be written from a perspective of someone who wants to have him embody and reflect the great ideals of what makes America an amazing, beautiful promise to all mankind. That's really what it is, an inspiration. And when you put writers on it that want to talk about the myth of American exceptionalism and how America really isn't that great, that's a misstep, right? So I don't know who these gentlemen are that are writing it this time. All I can say is that based upon this issue, it's a tentatively promising start. So hopefully the next couple of issues bear that out, and we might have a great run of Captain America, which I would love. Again, I love Captain America. I have a Captain America shirt. I wear it frequently. I wear it to vote. I wear it on the 4th of July. I wear it on Memorial Day. Anyway, that's my opinion. I hope you all have a wonderful Independence Day. I hope you have a lovely 4th of July, and just enjoy family and enjoy the fact that you have the ability to complain about things. Because, that's one of the things that makes America fantastic, is that you can complain about things without fear of the government kicking your door down and putting you in a gulag somewhere. At least so far. Again, Captain America #1. It's okay. It's not great, but it's not bad. So give it a shot if you want. If you're interested in reading Captain America. Sentinel of Liberty. We're not quite SOL, but if it does get us SOL, I'll let you know as soon as it comes out. Anyway, again, thanks for watching Comics with Drew. I'm Drew, and I'll catch you next time.